Cross-country racers have been debating this for years. Does a dropper post actually make you a faster rider, or is it just extra weight? Well, today we're putting that question to the test. I'll be running 2 back-to-back timed laps aboard my trusty Superior XF 929RC. One with the stock rigid post and once with the new dropper installed, to see if the ability to lower my saddle makes a real difference on the clock. I personally have always enjoyed a dropper post for steeper, faster descents, but I'm genuinely curious to see if there really will be much of a difference on the cross-country trails I'll be riding today. So without further ado, let's get out there and get ripping for lap 1. And we're off. Okay, lap 1 on the Superior XF 929RC. No dropper post. Along for the ride. It's pretty janky here, but this is technically a cross-country blue trail, so it'll be a good indicator. Oh, I definitely want a dropper here. Ah! So let's see if I'm actually faster with a dropper. I feel like I would be. Ooh. Feels so unnatural to have to really put your butt behind the seat here, but I know people have been doing it for decades. We got Sprocket, the dirt jump dog, on board with us. He has been, enjoying his winter. He's a little out of shape, like me. All right, a little fun, fast section. Bike really handles this tech stuff pretty well. I thought I would really notice a difference not being on my trail bike on the TA T9, but no, it's eaten up. This bike really climbs well. Even for somebody who doesn't love climbing, makes it a lot better. A little flow. Woo! Woo! And this is what this bike just lives for. Feeling a little bit more confident without the dropper post. Not great, but all right, let's see. Here's my little expose. All right, finish strong. And done. All right, well, I am back from lap number 1, no dropper post on the Superior XF 929RC. And I gotta say, I feel like I managed pretty well, especially if coming from a girl who loves herself a dropper post. I put that dropper down anytime I get the chance. I sometimes will have the dropper down and just be pedaling standing because I just feel a little more comfortable with that. So, I didn't feel totally uncomfortable, but there were a few steep, rocky descents where I was like, oh my gosh, if I get stuck on one side of this saddle, it's not gonna be good. But overall, I felt pretty confident. We did have some nice technical descents, technical climbs, but we're not done yet. Our next step is to install a dropper seat post on the Superior XF 929RC. This bike is a cross-country race machine through and through, weighing just 27 pounds or 12.3 kilograms. It has 100 millimeters of remotely lockable travel front and rear, lightweight wheels and tires, and a 12-speed Shimano Dior drivetrain. Everything you need to get on top of the podium. Except for maybe a dropper post, which Superior has chosen to leave off, both to save weight and keep the cost down. It's been up to debate whether dropper posts are actually faster for cross-country racing, and at the pro level, you'll find riders on both sides of the discussion. But I want to see which is faster for me. Most dropper posts weigh around 800 grams, or about 1.5 pounds, so I'll be increasing the overall weight of the bike by about 1 pound. And I'm excited to see if the increased confidence on the descents can make up for the slightly heavier bike I'll have to pedal up the trail. So moving on, we've got the dropper installed and we're gonna get back out on the trail for lap 2. Let's see what we find out. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we now have a dropper post and we are starting our northbound lap. Starting strong with the pedal strength. Okay, my dropper is down. And I'm staying down for this section. Oh yeah, that's much better. I already feel like I went way faster there. I don't know if I actually did, but dropper's back up, dropper's down. That's a little clunky. All right. You just get right into it on this trail, right into that chunk. So we'll see if those few seconds actually make a difference. Didn't necessarily feel crazy different, but I think the tech is definitely, I feel it more. So I'm just a little uneasy going fast without a dropper on tech, big rocky sections. Woo. So pretty. Got the river down this canyon. Don't look too far out there because that was exposed. A little climby, but I'm not using my dropper through here, so I'm guessing that's gonna be about the same. Dropper's down. I'm gonna pedal. I'm just leaving my dropper down. Woo! It's a fun little section. So sometimes when I know there's like flow, I just stand up and pedal anyway. Oh yeah. All right. Well, that definitely helped. I didn't clean that section last time, but I just put my dropper about halfway down there, get it out of my way, out of my head a little more, and I cleaned it. So even if that wasn't necessarily faster, definitely a little more efficiency there. All right. And finishing up right here. Woo! All right, back from lap 2, and just as I suspected, did shave kind of a significant amount of time. Now this section of trail, it took me about 10.5 minutes the first time around with no dropper seat post, and about 10 minutes coming around, which really is not a huge amount of time, but in the grand scheme of, you know, a 10-minute section of trail, 30 seconds, it's kind of significant, and that could be the difference between a podium spot or not. I think overall, I felt my confidence get boosted when that dropper seat post was there and accessible to me. There were some sections when I didn't choose to use it, but then others when I had it down for quite a long period of time. I used it on descents, which definitely hands down was the best place to have it, especially on some of the chunkier rocky descents. I found that on the smoother sections of descent, I didn't notice a huge difference dropper seat without, but when I did have the dropper seat post installed on those chunky sections, I found a huge amount of difference. Now, even on a couple sections that were a little steeper, chunkier climb, I usually like to keep my dropper about halfway down on a section like that, just so I have a little bit more maneuverability over the bike. And I found that I cleared a couple sections that without the dropper installed, I didn't clear. So I'm not sure if that was directly tied to the dropper post or confidence or whatever it was, but that would definitely make a huge difference out in a race day. So you've seen the tangible results. I would recommend finding yourself a dropper post and installing it on the Superior XF 929 RC. You can get those at BikesOnline.com. There'll be some links in the bio to check those out. While you're down there, drop a comment telling me what your favorite dropper post is, what dropper you run, or if you don't run a dropper, why not? After you've done that, get out there and get ripping.